Good morning, guys. Today's assignment is to learn a new writing form called ACE. So I'm going to open this up. It says ACE Practice. This is what you're going to see on Classroom today. Your assignment is to do this ACE Practice, but before you do that, you have to know what ACE is and how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and go over that with you by looking at this ACE PowerPoint. So I'm actually going to open it up from my own computer. So I'll come over here. ACE, and I'm going to go over this with you carefully. Remember, this will always be up, so you can always go back, listen to this should you get confused about ACE. So here it is. Let me put it in present mode, and we'll go over it. So the whole idea with ACE is that it's a way for you to respond to a question in a history class. Instead of just a poorly written answer, the idea is that you can respond using evidence and analyzing it with some explanation. Well, here's a question we're going to use as our practice. Why is Michael Jordan considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time? So let's say we were trying to answer this and we put this down. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players of all time and is considered so by many people. He won many games and played really well. Because of this, he is one of the best ever. What are some of the problems with this response maybe? Can you think of any? How can we maybe fix this? Well, let's think. To me, the problem is there's really not any evidence in this. It sounds a lot like somebody's opinion. So how can we fix it? Well, we're going to try to use ACE. So obviously, we need to know what ACE stands for because it's an acronym. It stands for 3 parts. So when you get a question that you're required to answer in ACE format, understand that this answer is going to have 3 parts to it, which means at the very least, it's going to have 3 sentences. The A in ACE stands for answer. This is the answer part where you're going to make a claim that you're going to try to then prove. So think of your answer as a claim that you're making. To prove that answer, you're going to use the C in ACE stands for citations. But since this is a history class, you're not necessarily going to be citing like in English. Instead, you're going to be using evidence for your citations. So I want you to think of the citations part as evidence. Think of this citations as evidence. Then the E in ACE stands for explanation or elaboration. This is where you tell me how your evidence proves your answer. There he is. There's Michael Jordan. He's the topic of our question. So let's start with the A. A good answer should be brief and precise. It shouldn't be too long because remember, you're going to have at least 3 sentences. So your answer should be relatively short. So there's our question again. This is weak. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players of all time and is considered so by many people. Why is this one weak? Well, the problem is I can't prove this. Where's my evidence going to come in this? It sounds like an opinion. So I need to give something a little more concrete. So notice something here. Strong. Michael Jordan is considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Here's the key, guys. Look at this. Because of his individual statistics and team accomplishments. If you include because in your answer, you're going to come up with a stronger answer because then you have to give some reason. So in this case, after I said because, I gave 2 reasons. I said because of his individual statistics and because of his team accomplishments. So you can see this because is the key to my strong answer for that first sentence. So when you're doing this on your own in a little while, always go back and check that you have a because in your first sentence. That's going to be a reason that you can then prove in the next part of the ACE response, the citations. C stands for citations. Citations are going to be the evidence that strengthens your answer. What is it that I'm looking for evidence? I want, here's the key word, specifics. I want specific names or dates or events. Think about proper nouns. If you can name something specific in the evidence part, then you know you're on the right track. So let's look at a couple of examples here. In this one, we're too general. Michael Jordan won a lot of games and scored many points. He also played for a long time and won championships. Well, you can see that I just haven't given any specific names or dates or events or even numbers to help support this. So let's see if we can fix it. For example, Jordan scored over 40,000 points and won the scoring title 12 times. With the Chicago Bulls, Jordan won 6 championships, including 2 separate three-peats. So look at the difference here. This more specific example has evidence. It has specific names, Chicago Bulls, specific events, 6 championships, specific numbers, 40,000 points, scoring title 12 times. Now, it depends on what question you get, but regardless of what it is, each time you're going to need specifics, okay? Most of the time, when we do something in class about geography, the specifics will be in whatever it is you've read or watched. To help you remember, try a sentence starter like for example. I want to see in your examples that you're going to do in a little while, I want to see you start your second sentence with, for example, and then give me an example. This sets you up to start an example. So the E, now this is going to be the hardest part, but it's not hard. The E stands for elaboration and explain. This is where you're going to show me how your evidence supports your answer. Key thing here, guys, don't restate your answer or the question. Okay, that third sentence isn't for a restatement. Don't do this. This is why Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. That's what we don't want to do, because all this is doing is restating our question and our answer. It doesn't tell me anything to elaborate on that evidence that I just provided. So let's take a look at my example. This combination of winning and individual achievements has not been done by any other player in NBA history and shows how much better Jordan was than most. Okay, so look at that again. What did I do here? On this example, I have now said that nobody else has done this. I didn't say this anywhere else in my little sentence, in my answer. I didn't say this in sentence 1 or sentence 2. I also say how this shows how much better Jordan was than most. I'm telling you that because of this, I've now proven that Jordan was better than most. In fact, that this shows is a good sentence starter for you to use. Sorry, is a good sentence starter for you. I could have started that here. This shows that he is better than most because of his combination of winning and individual achievements. Here's how you check whether or not you've done elaboration correctly. Make sure that whatever you said here, you haven't said in the evidence or in your answer. If this is unique and different, you're probably on the right track. Let's read how that looks all together. Michael Jordan is considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time because of his individual statistics and team accomplishments. For example, Jordan scored over 40,000 points and won the scoring title 12 times. As a player for the Chicago Bulls, Jordan won 6 championships, including 2 separate three-peats. This combination of winning and individual achievements has not been done by any other player in NBA history and shows how much better Jordan was than most. Pretty good, right? Why is it good? Because we used ACE format. This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to do when we're going over that type of response. Now, you'll notice here I said check your answer. One color for the answer, one color for the evidence, one color for the explain elaboration. You're going to do this same thing on your example, which I'll show you in a second, because this is going to help you check to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So I'm going to actually exit out of this, and I'm going to show you the directions for your assignment. So let's go back to Classroom. Here's Classroom. We've got it here. That's that PowerPoint that I just went over for you to use. Now, let's say you want to see that kind of in a written format. Check this document out. This ACE criteria goes over everything I just said, but it's written down for you. So you can see here I've gone over A, make sure to answer the question completely. Use keywords and phrases. Get straight to the point. Example sentence starter, make sure you have the word because. So you can go over this. I won't read the whole thing because we just did it, but you can go over this, and I think you'll find that it'll be pretty helpful for you. So there's that. But here's the actual assignment, this ACE practice. This is what I want to show you so you know what you're doing for today's assignment. Now it is your turn to try it. Create your own question. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you. Since this is your first time trying ACE, I want you to practice with something you know. You can pick something you know evidence for and that you can explain. It can be anything. Here's some examples I even came up with for you. You could use this question. Why is blank the best football team? So like if I was doing it, I would put, why is the Las Vegas Raiders the best football team? Why is the best singer, rapper, banda, right? Why is the best fast food restaurant? What is the best show on Netflix? Why is blank the best anime? Here's my point. Pick anything that you know about, that you can explain, that you have evidence for, okay? You're not limited to these. You can pick your own. And actually, I'm looking at this. We could fix this. This should say, why is blank? Why is blank? Yeah, that's right. You're good. So again, for more help, look at the attached ACE PowerPoint or the PowerPoint we reviewed. Both are attached on Classroom. Once you have finished your ACE response, be sure to code it, okay? Use one color for the answer, one color for the evidence, one color for the explanation. All you'll do is you'll come up here, you'll pick a color for each part of your answer. I've given you some tips here. They're the sentence starters. Remember to use because in your answer. Remember to start your evidence sentence with for example. And remember to start your explanation, elaboration with one of these. This shows, this proves, this demonstrates. And you can see I did an example. I chose what is the best fast food place. And you can see it says In-N-Out is the best fast food, not food. Let me fix that. Because remember to start your evidence with, for example. So look, for example, the double-double, that's going to be my evidence. I'm going to talk about that. And then the last part, I put, this proves that In-N-Out is the best fast food. And then I'm going to explain why that proves it. So again, you pick your own question, write down your question in this box, and then your first aced response is going to go in this box here. Again, remember you code it, you color it, okay? One color for each part of ACE. Once you've done that, you're going to come back to this assignment and you're going to turn it in right here. I'll be working with you guys while you're doing this. I'll still be there. If you have questions, you can type them in. If you're watching this later, you can always email me questions. But again, go back to the directions, listen to my PowerPoint. I think it'll make a lot of sense. Okay, guys, good luck.